Oh, hello there, human beings of the internet. This is Ryan from Immaterial Gamers, broadcasting from the living room. Okay, to be fair, it's the room where I settle down to do most of our recordings. It's also where I do our editing. But anyway, we at Immaterial Gamers have been looking for a moment to do what we're about to do. I certainly have been looking for a moment where we're looking to do what we're about to do. We've got a channel in our own Discord purely for this, and it's based on the first videos that we set up 12 years ago. This is even before Immaterial Gamers version 1, which was 10 years ago. It's regarding a little thing called the Videogame Challenge. So, recently we've been looking at making the Videogame Challenge more of a mini-series that we've tried to do back from the days of putting a camera on a printer box and playing the game Ikaruga without firing a bullet. The general concept of the video game challenge is to play games contrary to how they should be. If you want to look at an example, take our Team Fight Thursdays videos. The whole Fate Seal Championship, that's what we've tried to do. But the video game challenge ups it a notch, takes it up to the next level. Be actually challenged to play a video game in a different way and take on whatever challenge that we have. And I feel like I want to take on a challenge. We've got a list, and others will take on their challenges, but we want to get a mini series out of the way. So, here is our first challenge. Well, my first challenge. Explained to Immaterial Gamers in the middle of the Monster Camp video. It's Video Game Challenge Codename Got No Rhythm. You may be wondering what the hell I am on about. The first video game challenge of the new Immaterial Gamers, or the new Immaterial Gamers, involves rhythm games. Of course they do, it's this idiot. So, I like my rhythm games. The general idea of a rhythm game is to use some sort of gameplay mechanic along with a pretty cool soundtrack in order to either test dexterity, timing, or just music tolerance. And there's a lot of them out there, and they're on Steam, they're on consoles. You can sort of go back to old consoles like PlayStation 1 and Beatmania and Parappa the Rapper, to modern day attempts like Thumper and the Curse of the Necrodancer. That's a rhythm game in a sense, it's also a roguelike. A lot of rhythm games have started to move on a little and adapt. Some of them were just corridors of tunes, like Rock Band, and the game that I'm going to be using as my challenge. Some of them take them in different forms. Like I mentioned, you could have it as a puzzle game, a roguelike. So we've got Curse of the Necrodancer as the roguelike, we've got rail shooters like Rez and Child of Eden. You've got what could be considered Rhythm Hell as it's advertised in the aforementioned Thumper, or call and response games like Parappa the Rapper and Jamalemi, or even if you're like really crazy, Guitar Man. But the game that I'm going to use is Spin Rhythm XD. Now we've done this before. It's ended up on the Wheel of Wednesday, the game where you've got the corridor of beats and bumps and boopity bops, but you use a little wheel that's color coded and you can spin it around and you match stuff and you push the beats in the right timings, and it's all great. But the common thing with every single one of these games is the necessity of using a soundtrack. Songs of various genres. For a rock band, rock music. For something like spin rhythm, EDM, dubstep, something that's sort of fast paced and keeps things going. Now the challenge is what this is all about. I've played through the game on various difficulties. We've got another fan of it in the form of D, who also plays them, and we've got different skill ceilings. And I've recently started and decided, really, that hard is needing a bit more work. So, what better way to test your ability on a game than moving it up to a difficulty level that you're not as comfortable with, and using the hardest song on that game in order to prove a point? So, graded as the hardest difficulty song in Spin Rhythm currently is the song Believe by Tematite. Now, that's a challenge enough because I've not completed that song on that difficulty yet. I get about a third of the way through, it's full 5 minute 30-second ish length, and fail about a third of the way in. So the challenge is in 2 steps. 1, complete it. Doesn't matter what grade, just get to the damn end of the song. 2, do it without actually listening to the song. That's right. The challenge is to play a rhythm game and not listen to the music that the rhythm game requires you to do in order to get in the zone. So there's a couple of rules for this. This is a little mini series, so the challenge is to use 30 days to practice and take as many attempts as required to do the song. But when it comes down to the actual challenge, one attempt, it doesn't matter what happened before, however many times I failed or succeeded, it all comes down to the one attempt. To add a bit more of a challenge to that, sure, I get some time to practice and I do as much as I need to do, but we're limiting it to about, an hour a day. 30 days. 30 hours? Surely I should be able to do it, right? Who knows? Use one control scheme throughout the entire thing. Gonna use a pad. It's what I've played it for. You can use mouse and keyboard, you've got a MIDI controller if you need to, but for me, this is the comfortable one. So that's gonna happen. Record and chronicle and diary every day's activity. That's gonna happen. Gonna place it on the Immaterial Gamers Twitter and just do a thread of the 30 days. On day 31, with witnesses, I will attempt to do that challenge. Succeed, and we'll get what we call the reward for success. Fail, and there'll be the punishment for failure. What makes this even more hard is I haven't fully explained this to all of the Immaterial Gamers yet, and I'm going to ask them to give the reward for success or punishment for failure without me even knowing what it is, because why not? So, with that in mind, this will be the teaser video. This will be out once I've set it all up. You'll be listening to it now, or hearing it, watching it. Halfway through, I'll do a mid-practice video. One of the sessions will just be practicing this game. Day 31 will be the attempt. So there'll be 3 videos in this series. Based on how successful this will be, maybe the other challenges will come up. We've got some lists, like maybe seeing how long you can be a model citizen in Grand Theft Auto, or trying to figure out a key phrase in a video game without using any of those words that make up the phrase as a search term. But for now, this will come out, and the day after will be the start of Codename Got No Rhythm. We'll see you then.